Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Flying Over 50 at Any Age. I'm Cyrus Webb, joined by my lovely co host, Makeda Smith, celebrity publicist and the best selling author of the book by the same name. I want to welcome those tuning in on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, and on X. Glad that you all can be with us. Going to go ahead and connect with our friends over on Instagram. Make sure that they can be able to be with us for our chat today. And last but certainly not least, going to connect with our friends over on Amazon as well. Have a great message for our show for today. So I'm excited about this. Excited you guys can be with us. As always, you guys have any questions or comments, make sure you guys do put those in the chat for us. We are live on Amazon Live with Flying Over 50 at Any Age with Makeda Smith and myself, Cyrus Webb. If you guys are new to us on the Amazon platform, welcome. Make sure you guys do hit that follow button either here in this corner or down below. You also will see the book by Makeda Smith as well. So make sure you guys do grab that. So you guys can be able to get your own copy of it. There does seem to be an issue with I've been telling you about this message. Makeda, does seem to be a problem with Instagram. They're not connecting with us.
Oh, okay.
Hopefully they will be able to. I'm gonna try to reset for them again to see if it may be able to connect with them now. But I just got the message again from StreamYard saying that there was an issue. It worked earlier today, but it doesn't seem to be working right now. There it is. They just
Oh,
connected.
okay.
Cool, great. So, Instagram family, we're glad that you all could be able to join us as well. Makeda, how you doing?
I'm fine, Cyrus. I just want to say happy flying over 50 to you today.
Thank you so much, Makeda. I
That's
appreciate
that's my
that.
that's my coded message.
Well, look, I appreciate that. I appreciate glad to be in the club. And you know what? And I'm excited to be in good company with you today as we're celebrating this, and
I
also
know.
having this great message to go along with it. So, Makeda, I was saying to you before we went live here, Makeda, I'm sure thought I was just trying to change the subject, but I was saying to her before we went live, today's message I think is really so important for you all, the viewer, because all of us know what it's like to have somebody try to throw dirt on what we're doing, try to downplay what we're doing, or even make fun of what we're doing, whether it's pursuing your goals and dreams at different ages. I follow this dancer, Makeda, that's chronicling her journey on
Mhm.
Instagram. She's 64 years old, and people are in the comments talking about her. And here she is. She's moved to New York and pursuing her dreams there. And it really goes to show, hey, big man, gonna be able to see you over there on IG. It really goes to how it's unfortunate it is that people do put limitations on you based on your
Yeah.
age. Before we
Yes.
get into this message, let's talk about that, because we found out in the book how the Flying Over 50 name came about. But what has it been like
Mhm.
for you to show people that age doesn't have to define what they're able to do?
I think it's been liberating not only for me, but also for the people who are inspired and motivated by the message.
Hmm.
I have a lot of older people reach out to me and thank me for the inspiration. But even more than that, I have a lot of younger people that follow me and send me messages and thank me for showing them what aging can look like because now they know they have options.
Yeah,
So I think that's really important.
yeah. And our mutual friend Ellie Dalsimer has the book. It's okay not to be
Not
fabulous
to
every
be
day.
fabulous, even though she's yeah.
Another person that's in my life. I don't know if you know her or not. Chanel Coleman Wesley. She has a book called "She Said Yes to Herself Unapologetically."
Mm,
And I think about you sometimes when I'm seeing your post, and you so proudly put your age on your post.
yeah.
Because to me, what I think, and especially now going through this series with you, is that
Uh-huh.
we're talking about a decade of work you put in with
Yeah.
Flying Over 50. What has that been like for you to see how you started and what you talked about in the book about being able to see the changes in your body, and now to see where you are today, Makita?
It's pretty amazing because it's been like 14 years. I started pole dancing literally at 50.
Hmm.
And when I started it, like I said, it wasn't like a goal to become an influencer, have a bunch of followers. I was just trying to save my life
Yeah.
and trying to stay here on the planet and motivate myself.
Hmm.
But um, I remember when I started, I was like, oh, I wish I had found this when I was, because most of the people in my class were in their like 20s and 30s and some 40s. And I
Mhm.
was like, I wish I had found this in my 30s. I would be so much further along. And it's too bad I'm starting at 50. And maybe if I could do this for like a couple of years,
Mhm.
that'll be good. I really didn't think it was going to be sustainable too far in my 50s because I was like, by the time I get like 54, 55, I'm not going to be able to do this. This is so strenuous.
Yeah.
Then I started coming across women who were in their late 50s and their 60s, and they were still athletically active, doing pole dancing, doing aerial arts. And I was like, oh, this is like attainable and sustainable. But
Mhm.
even in my mind, I gave myself a little grace and I said, okay, maybe I'll make it to like 59 or 60.
Yeah.
I never imagined that I would be like 64 years old and still being able to do it. And now that I'm 64, I actually follow pole dancers and aerial artists who were in their 70s, late
Wow.
70s, and
Mm.
early 80s. So I'm like, oh, I can just keep going. I don't have to put
Yeah.
limits in my brain as long as
Yeah.
I stay active and stay in training and keep exercising. It's really attainable because I'm watching women in their early 80s who were still on, dancing, exercising, doing pole tricks. And it's like,
Mhm.
it's amazing.
Right. And I love that. And that's going to encourage someone. Zenzone, I love that name. Hello to you over there on IG. Glad you could be able to join us. I see you guys over there on YouTube as well. If you guys have any questions or comments for Makeda, make sure you guys do put those in the chat. And of course, for those of you on Amazon as well, if you guys have any questions or comments, put those in the chat too. One more thing I want to ask you about,
Hmm.
Makeda, before we get into our message. Because
Hmm.
one thing, too, we've saw, and you've talked about this in the book, is that you as a publicist, you have worked with your clients and you know what it's like for them to become the story.
Hmm.
What has it been like for you now as the publicist, even before writing this book, to have been the story on different occasions yourself?
Yeah, in the beginning, it was very nerve wracking. And I had to get used to it because, again, as a publicist, I'm always behind the scenes directing traffic.
Hmm.
And so it was kind of disconcerting being like, quote, in front of the camera and
Yeah.
being the person that's being interviewed. So there was like I had to like broaden my comfort zone. And I always say the comfort zone is a coffin. So I had to like get out of my coffin, my
Oh
comfort
wow.
zone, and expand myself. So it was a little disconcerting in the beginning. But look at me now, because Cyrus, you got me talking about it every week live on Amazon.
Yeah, look at that. And week 25 again, day 25. For those of you who have the book, Makita, I know you just want this to keep going and going and going. Uh,
Oh, like a battery, was that ever ready battery?
right. But no, it really has been. I mean, to think that we've made it to this milestone of 25,
I
it's been
know.
really amazing. And this message again is so special. So I'm going to turn it over to you. I'm going to pull it up on the screen so our audience
Okay,
can
I'm
can
putting my
um,
little
can follow
iPad
along.
in front of me.
Okay.
All right, day 25 is called Following Your Passion Can Break You. Break is in BRAKE. About 5 years into my posting journey on social media, the gram took note and started to drag me viciously. What had happened was, LOL, someone reposted one of my dance videos on Instagram with a crazy caption tagging me a wannabe stripper granny or something of that sort. And their post went crazy viral. My first reaction was, who told them I was a granny? LOL. But seriously, that viral internet dragging went on for months. Every time I thought it had died down, some reiteration of it would repost, and I get dragged again. Hip hop bloggers had even jumped in on it, and the post was receiving hundreds of thousands of views and just as many negative and degrading comments. Yes, I was under the bed. The pole passion, which had saved my life, was now destroying it. As a publicist, I gained new empathy for the many celebrities who undergo this kind of social abuse on the regular. As a newbie over 50 pole athlete and artist, I was beyond conflicted. Was I too old to try something new? And then something happened. Women who I didn't know started reaching out to me via direct messages and offered their love and support. I heard compelling stories from women who told me how my dancing inspired them and motivated them. Women shared with me how they were reluctant to post their images on social media because they had been ridiculed for being old, and they appreciated my courage. I had been praying that the whole viral thing would just go away, but it didn't, and now I knew why. It wasn't going to go away until I addressed the issue and made it go away. I decided to channel my shame and anger back at the haters, or hate hers, as I called them, and I implemented my own social media campaign in my defense. I publicly stated in my post that I was going to train harder, dance more, wear higher heels, and dress even sexier in defiance of these internet haters and their outdated societal norms that embraced sexism and ageism. My defiant postings gained support and attention, and a media angel reached out to do a feature on me. A beautiful young reporter who had been following me and loved what I was doing and what I represented said she wanted to explain to her readers that polling was actually a very difficult training to undertake at any age, especially over 50. Her story went viral across media outlets, and her wondrous efforts helped me to turn the tables. Other media sources reached out to me as well, and I literally have feature stories around the world covering flying over 50, as far as London and South Africa. Oh, and even a 6-page photo spread in Prevention magazine. Of course, I reposted every story and thanked my haters for pushing me to new peaks of love and recognition. Has someone else's negative energy toward you ever made you feel less than? Do people's comments and perceptions about you tear you down? What's a situation where you are forced to rise and soar beyond their negative energy? The sun reveals rainbows after a storm.
Wow. I tell you, that is so powerful, and such a great reminder. I want to read what Chris says. Hey, Chris, joining us on Facebook. Chris says
Oh,
the biggest roadblocks we have in our lives are the ones we build
yeah.
for ourselves. How did you find the courage to start and ignore the "I can't" that could have so easily stopped you from the journey? That's a great question, Chris.
It wasn't easy because it literally took me. Okay, so when they started dragging me on social media, I was like, "Oh, it's gonna go away," because usually, everything goes in waves. And
Right.
it would not go away. This like dragged on for like 4 to 6 months. So
Wow.
after the third or fourth month, I was really starting to get back depressed, and I was like really starting to like be under the bed with shame, like in my head, like why did I ever start pole dancing? I'm 50. I'm really just too old. It's like those voices started playing in my head. But I think I said this back a few other episodes. When your head starts telling you negative things, you've got to channel the other side of your brain, and they've got to have a conversation with each other. So if this all negative talk, you've got to start positive talk.
Yeah.
So at some point, I said, this isn't going away. They are just humiliating me and dragging me. It got so bad. One day I was in the store, in the deli, and the young man behind the deli who I was making my order was like, "Aren't you that lady online who's pole dancing?"
Oh,
I was like,
wow.
"Oh my God."
Wow.
The universe and my angels are just like haunting me. They're not going to let me live this down. I was like, this is freaking crazy. So I had to sit with myself and have a conversation. And I was like, look, you are OG from Chicago. You are not going to let these internet haters get you down. You are 50 years old, up on the pole in 8 and 9 inch heels, showing all this physical strength. Like, what's wrong with you? Like, like gather yourself and realize who you are. And it
Yeah.
was like a light bulb went off in my head. And then I was like, and I'm also a publicist. Like,
Hmm.
I know better than this. I have to change the narrative. So I really had to self talk myself. And then I went online and I posted. I remember my first post. I was actually cussing folks out, and I remember my PR partner called me and said, "Makeda, are you okay, girl? Because you are online cussing folks out." I said, "Yes, I am, because they have been dragging me for months, and I'm sick of this. I'm like sick of this. Like, this is crazy. I work too hard for
Yeah.
these people to take away from me."
Hmm.
And it just literally turned things around. But it was really a difficult challenge. But again, when we have challenges and when we have fear, we have to be cognizant that these are placed in front of us for a reason. And
Right.
once we overcome that battle or that block, there's always a blessing on the other side. And
Yeah.
so, but literally I was like, I done lost everything. I'm damn near homeless, living in a little one-bedroom apartment. Now this universe, like, I don't understand. Leave me alone.
Yeah. Makita, Chris says he would have said, "Yes, I am. Aren't you the young guy in Kroger that's supposed to be slicing my meat?" Oh boy, that's Karma CEO coming
Oh, that
over
is
there.
a
Yeah.
good one.
Uh, I think it's pronounced Green Asar, maybe. I may be mispronouncing that. Hello to you over there on IG. For those of you who are just tuning in, welcome. You're watching Flying Over 50 at Any Age, based on the best-selling book by my co-host, celebrity publicist, and author Makeda Smith. We're talking about day 25 in the book, and it's week 25 of our series that we're doing here on Amazon Live. The book's available in print as well as a Kindle edition. Again, the title of this message is an interesting one. Following your passion can break you. Talk to us about the title for this message, Makita, and the message there.
Um, I say following your passion can break you, because I use the word break, BRAKE,
Hmm.
instead of, hey, Melissa, instead of break, BREAK, because in this particular instance, I didn't allow my passion to break me, BREAK, but it almost did break me, as in stopped me. So
Ah,
following
got
your
it.
passion can stop you, because when you're doing what you love, I guess it's going to attract haters who aren't brave enough to do what they love.
Right,
So they're going to attack you. And it's really a form of bullying as well. It's
right.
really crazy.
It is, and I want to go back to this, Makita. You and I had a conversation about this briefly before we went live, and I want to say to our audience out there that when I was prepping for today's show, I thought about how we all have heard that saying, "If it bleeds, it leads," and basically the premise of that being anything that people see as something negative or something
Mhm.
that's downing someone, that spreads a whole lot quicker
Yeah,
than something positive and something upbuilding and something that people can rally around. But really, this became a blessing in disguise for you, right, Makita?
yeah,
Because as you said, yes, you had these people out of their own ignorance that had their own thoughts and whatever. But then you had this new tribe of people that were rallying around you that not only
yeah,
were inspired by you, but that you were able to be inspired by as well.
yeah. It was actually, I think, when I was ready to, like, in my mind, just like, I'm just going to stop posting, like, I can't do this anymore. That's when I started getting messages from women
Hmm.
who were like thanking me, and I literally had no idea that I was inspiring anyone. Again, the state of mind I was in when I first started pole dancing was like, I've lost everything. I met Magda. She said I need to exercise, and movement was the answer.
Right.
And I needed to find a hobby to lose myself in, which became the pole dancing. And
Hmm.
then the posting, in terms of the pole dance community, we all post online because that's how we share
Sure.
our movement. Like, when you learn a new feat, like excuse me, a new pole trick, or it's just the community. It's like how we build our own internal community. So I was really posting for other pole dancers. Like I was communicating with them. I wasn't really cognizant of, oh, they're like women who don't dance who follow me who are being inspired. Like that went over
Right.
my head.
Right.
So when women started reaching out to me, older women, and thanking me for inspiring them, that like kind of blew me away, and I knew that I couldn't stop what I was doing, because what message would I be giving to those
Yeah.
women?
Exactly. Exactly. And that's why I have no sympathy and mercy for haters and people who hide behind keyboards, because they're really showing how broken they are, and how sad they are, that
Yeah.
they have nothing better to do, and that's the only way they can get attention. And I think that's part of the sadness there. You do ask some really good questions, but let's talk about the picture, Makita. I'm gonna pull the
Oh,
picture back
okay.
up.
Oh,
So tell me about this picture.
um, that picture, I'm just wondering if I could read what the post says. Oh, let me
Oh,
read.
I'll
Okay.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
You
Yeah. Go
oh,
ahead.
okay.
Yeah.
That was an Instagram post when I had flipped the script and started my own campaign to start, getting back at the so-called haters.
Hmm.
So the post is a picture of me on the ground, and it looks like you could almost look at that picture two ways. I'm either defeated or I'm climbing back up.
Hmm.
So you could take the picture either way.
Yeah.
But the post was Granny Polar News, LOL. I am being profiled in the national mainstream health magazine. My 8-hour full day photo shoot is tomorrow, slated to hit stands everywhere early 2017. Thank you, haters, for bringing national media attention to seniors like me, LOL, because aging rocks when you got skills. And
Hmm.
so that was one of my celebratory posts.
Yeah. Yeah. And such a great reminder for us. And a lot of times thinking that, there's that saying out there. I can't remember who said it, but I'm sure you've seen the post too, Makita, that they tried to bury me but didn't realize I was a seed.
Yeah,
And so, what they
that's a
thought
good
was going to be
one.
something bad ended up bringing you into something else. And
Yeah.
I think that's the beautiful thing. I want to go to the questions that you have,
Mhm.
and because I think it's great for our audience to think about here. The question you have is: has someone else's negative energy toward you ever made you feel less than? Do people's comments and perceptions about you tear you down? What's a situation where you are forced to rise and soar beyond their negative energy? The sun reveals rainbows after a storm. So, what do you want them to know as they reflect on your experience, Makita, about what's possible for them?
I think it goes back to what I said earlier in terms of we have to, and this is really like it's easier said than done, but you have to recognize that when there's a challenge in front of you or when you're faced with fear, that's really just a temporary roadblock blocking the blessing that's behind it. So you really have to push yourself to overcome that challenge or overcome that fear. It's almost like if you were playing a game around, like, well, games are different now because they're online, but back in my day, we had a board on the table with little
Right,
pieces.
right.
So, and like there would be obstacles, and you had to maybe gather enough dice to allow you to jump over the obstacle. So you just have to always remember that the fears and the obstacles are just challenges for us to jump over so that we can better ourselves and attain another blessing, a
Yeah.
bigger blessing.
That's so true. So true. Again, everyone, day 25 from Makita's best selling book, Flying Over 50 at Any Age. Again, the message is following your passion can break you. Makita, another great show. I told you this was a good one. I told her this was a good one. She thought I was just saying this, but it really is a great message. Great reminder for all of us. Don't let what others say. Melissa and I were talking about this today. Don't let what others say dictate the person you are and are meant to be. I think that is a great reminder for all of us. Makeda, let our audience know how they can stay connected with you.
I'm at Flying Over 50 and at the Makeda Method. I post on Instagram on the regular, and you can find my websites via those two, Flying Over 50 and the Makeda Method.
Love it. Makeda, always a pleasure. Looking forward to next week.
Thank you, Cyrus, and happy Flying Over 50 Day to you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that, my friend. And we thank your audience for tuning in to another great segment of Flying Over 50 at Any Age. Make sure you guys do get Makeda's book either in print or the Kindle edition here on Amazon. And until next week, you all make it a great one. We'll talk to you soon. Take care.